Thank you, donors.
From the bottom of our hearts, we're just so grateful.
Hi, Susan, and hi, William. Thank you so much for joining us on this live stream for the World Marrow Donor Day. If we could just start by getting a little introduction about your journey and powerful connection over stem cell donation.
So thanks for having us. My name is Susan Doherty. I live in Montreal, and I just celebrated my 5th anniversary of being a survivor of the stem cell transplant. And I'm alive because of the incredible stem cells from William Ashby Hall. We were a 12-on-12 isomer match, so that was really, really lucky. And I had a rare blood disorder called HLH, which is difficult to diagnose. So I feel doubly lucky to be alive. I got my diagnosis, and I also was a successful survivor from the stem cell transplant. William.
I'm William Ashby Hall. I was Susan's donor. I live in the UK, and I literally donated just following on from donating blood. There was a poster up that said about stem cells, so I thought, okay, well, why not? It's literally just a couple of swabs, and then I sent them off, and yeah, I got a phone call to say that there was a possible match. So I went through all the blood tests and stuff like that, and then I donated my stem cells, and then a couple of days later I got told the person accepted them. Really. And then what was it, 2 years? It was 2 years, wasn't it? We then met. Susan flew over to the UK and we met.
But William has left out the synchronicity part of this story, and that is the divine timing of when William went in to give blood and he gave his swab, because I have 4 brothers, and one of my brothers was a perfect match, but the head of the genetics department at the last moment insisted that my brother be tested, have his genes tested to see if he was a carrier for HLH, and sure enough he was. And it was that very week when my brother was canceled that William walked into the HIS, or whatever it's called, where you donate blood in the UK, and then gave his, did his HLA typing. So it was just, oh my gosh, the serendipity, the synchronicity of William coming into my life was absolutely incredible.
That's beautiful. William, how did it feel to go through the process of donation?
It was really easy, to be fair, because obviously from the beginning, so when you register, you get sent some swabs in the post, and then from there you do the swabs, which are nice and easy, just in the mouth and stuff like that. Pop them back in the envelope, send them back, and then you go onto the register. So I did mine through DKMS, which act upon on behalf of Antinodon in the UK, and then obviously then they go all around the world as well to the different registers for DKMS. So Susan was on the register for DKMS in Canada, and they overlapped, and they found that I was the match. Got the phone call just to say that I had to go for some blood tests in total, I think there was 3 sets of blood tests, including a hospital visit. And then you get given your date for the actual donation. You get given 2 dates, because the first date you donate, and then if there's not enough from the count that they do after your first donation, they ask you to go back to do more. But on the lead up to it, 4 days leading up to it, you do get an injection to speed up your white blood cells. And I literally had those. I felt tired from about the second one right up to the 4th one, but other than that, it was just tiredness. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't aching. It was literally just tiredness, because obviously your body's working to be able to get those stem cells up. And then when I went into the hospital, it was a matter of, they connected you up to the machine. So you have needle in one arm. That takes your blood with all the stem cells and everything else, goes into the centrifuge within the machine, and then the blood comes back without the stem cells, really. It just comes back into your body. So you don't lose anything, because you've got enough to be able to, to live. It just takes the extra away, and that, lucky for me, was only needed for 1 donation, because I actually gave more than what was needed. And then, as far as I was aware, that was the end of it, like in regards to like the end of my donation. But obviously from when I met Susan, it was a matter of, there was somebody there to collect the actual stem cells, and they literally went straight on the plane. And I mean, Susan, you were saying that the police were
Yeah,
there as well.
we had a police officer, an escort flew from Montreal to London, UK, and waited in the hallway. And then when the apheresis was done, that's the collection of the stem cells, they literally loaded them onto a cooler and flew back to Montreal. And I had fresh stem cells. They didn't need to be frozen. And yeah, I had my stem cell transplant the next day at 11 o'clock in the morning. But what the drug that William was talking about is called Neupogen, which is a truly exceptional drug that forces the bone marrow to make as many white blood cells as possible. And it is very painful. And William is being very brave and saying it was nothing. That's the only painful aspect, is the Neupogen. And William took a long time to even tell me that the long bones in his legs had hurt, because he said to me, Susan, given what you've gone through, this is nothing. And William's response was just a further testament to the kind of man he is, who stepped up to join the registry, who agreed to do this. And, it's a little bit of pain for saving someone's life. But I did want to say that it hurts, and a little bit. And William's very brave. Just in terms of contacting each other, because the death rate is quite high, there's no contact between anybody for at least 2 years. But that didn't stop me from writing letters into the ether. And I wrote William my first letter at day 100, just to say, it's been 100 days, I'm still alive. And the second letter was at the 1 year mark, which was, it's been a year, thank you so much. Thank you. And then the third letter was at the 2 year mark. And I said, it would be my greatest wish to look you in the eye and thank you for saving my life. And 27 months after the stem cell transplant, William called. Oh my gosh, was that not an incredible night? Do you remember that, William?
I do. I remember sitting on the sofa with my husband, and literally, I actually broke down.
Me too. We were crying. Oh my gosh. I was shaking. I was literally shaking to talk to you on the phone. It was so powerful.
Yeah, it was one of those things of, is this real? Because obviously, the last I heard, because for me, it was, I donated the stem cells, and then the lady walked away with the bag, and I didn't know about the police. escort. I didn't know about certain other aspects of when they were going to be given to Susan, or in my case of when they told me the recipient, because I didn't know who Susan was or anything else beforehand. And then obviously when we spoke on the phone, it was just like, this can't be real. You
Yeah, I
know,
felt that too.
it's like, I kind of, you know, you don't think about that's something that's something I've done. You know, I've saved someone's life. How is that even possible? It's like it's not something that you think about, is it? Really, it's like, I've
Do you know,
just saved.
when William and I met in England, we were staying at the Grosvenor Hotel, and obviously my husband came with me, and you know, William's husband Michael was there, and my children all flew over from New York and Boston, and my Elise and Reed, my son and my daughter, we spoke to the hostess in the where people have tea and champagne receptions in the afternoon, and I had gone to her and asked her if I could book a table for 5 o'clock for 8 people. And she said, she asked me, is this a family reunion? And I said, it's unlike any family reunion you've ever heard of. I said, I am here to meet the man who saved my life, the British man who donated his stem cells. And she went running up to the general manager's office and she Googled my name. And when we all were having champagne together at 5 o'clock, the 8 of us at this table at the Grosvenor Hotel, the chef came down with a cake that said, you are 1 in 25 million, because they had read this article that was posted on CBC talking about William saving my life. Was that, William, was that not a fantastic moment? Oh my God.
I mean, because obviously we were sitting next door to each other, and then we had, I think it was me, then it was you, Michael was sitting there, and Hal was sitting at the end. And when the cake come over, it was like, how do they know? How did they know? And it was just like, this is like, okay.
I know it
But
was.
I remember when I first walked into the hotel and you were sitting in the lobby, and I was just a bit like, oh, this is a bit scary. Yeah. It was scary.
It was like I had been crying all day long. Oh my gosh.
Because I remember walking up to you and you apologizing because you've been crying, and it was like, it was fine, because I'd actually on the train on the way up there, I was just like, this is really happening. This is really happening. And I actually had a tear in my eye as well. And before we walked in, just before we walked around the corner, Michael goes, are you all right? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't actually know. I was like, what about if the person doesn't like me? You know, it was like, I felt like I was going on a first date or something. It was like, what about if the person doesn't like me?
Yeah, it's such a surreal moment to meet someone who has done something so selfless, to have, there's no payment for this. It's such an act of altruism. And obviously for me, right after I'd had the stem cell transplant, and each day that I was a survivor, it was so front and center on my mind, William, to meet you. I craved to be able to say, thank you, I'm alive because of what you've done for me and given me this second chance at living my life. And so, you know, there was this little blip. They had given William an incorrect email address for me. Do you remember that, William? And so the 2-year mark came and went, and I didn't hear anything from William. And you know, my whole family were saying, you know, Mom, you've just got to, maybe he doesn't want to meet you, and don't worry about it. And, you know, you're alive and you're as healthy as you've ever been. And so when William finally did, when I got the email that William Ashby Hall wanted to speak to me, I literally started to shake. I started to shake. And then immediately we made a plan to speak on the phone. We were crying. It was, wow. Yeah, that was an amazing night.
Because I remember it, because obviously because of the time difference, I think, what was it? I got home from work And it was like, no, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to be speaking to Susan. And it was like, my husband was just like, are you
But
sure?
but the other incredible thing about William is when he told me that he's married to Michael Ashby Hall, I went back to the Royal Victoria in Montreal because, I have two nephews who were not allowed to, be on the list and whatnot. And so I asked, the people who are responsible for putting the matches together, and Canada did have very strict rules about gay men being on the registry. They had, really ridiculous rules, which have since changed. And I know that England led the way in terms of allowing equal rights to, gay men. And I think it's fantastic that some of those rules have been changed to be more inclusive.
Sorry, William, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just agreeing.
Yeah, it's such a great change, not really for Susan, but for other people worldwide who can now have matches that weren't even possible before. And thank you, William and Susan, for sharing your story. And before we end off, is there a message that you have for donors worldwide watching this right now?
Yeah, I mean, literally what I would say is, even if you have never thought about doing it, do it. It's a simple, it's 2 swabs in your mouth, and then literally you send it back in the post or the mail, wherever you're from, and literally you go onto a register, and if you get that call from the particular company that are dealing with it, organization that are dealing with it, do it. Because at the end of the day, it's made my life, it's changed my life. I know it's changed Susan's life, but it has changed my life because I can actually because I can actually say, I've saved someone's life. I've done something for someone rather than I've done something for myself. I've done something for someone, but I haven't just done it for one person. I've done it for her friends, her family. They've got to see an awful lot more than if I didn't. So I would say do it because it costs you nothing. It's a free thing to do. If people are worried about costs and stuff like that, it's a free thing to do. Don't worry about the implications. There are no implications to you. You're saving somebody's life at the end of the day, or you're trying to help someone.
Wow.
So I would say
this is the kind of man that I'm so lucky that this kind of man is now in my life for the rest of my life. How lucky am I?
I'm gonna say and another thing, it's a matter of, as long as Susan doesn't commit a crime, I'm fine, because she has my DNA. So as long as she doesn't commit a crime, I think I should be fine. If I get a phone call from Montreal police, then I know that Susan's been up to something.
I will add one other thing about being a donor, and that is William and I are Caucasian, and the likelihood of finding a match is higher if you're Caucasian. So I encourage Asian descent, African American, every type of race, please step up and be a donor, because it's much, much harder if you're not Caucasian. So that would be my final message.
Thank you. That was so beautiful, and what a message to share with the world, to encourage everyone to sign up and save people like Susan's life all around the globe. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you.
I will. Talk soon. Bye.
Hi, Mike. I just want to wish you good luck on your stem cell transplant today, buddy. I know you've got this. You've got the best team of doctors and nurses up on Unit 57 taking care of you, and I know you're going to power through this. A year from now, you and I are going to walk hand in hand as leukemia survivors at this Light the Night walk, and I want you to put that in the calendar, because you and I are going to do this together, all right? Good luck, Mike. All the best.
Thank you, Mike. I love you, and I know you're going to do fine and perfectly well, and I hope all the best and lots of courage. I love you.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike and Lauren.
Sending you best wishes and greetings from sunny, humid Darwin. We hope everything goes well this week and wish you all the best. And thanks for keeping us in the loop with your blog and Facebook stuff. And we'll be praying for you. We're going to say bye now.
I love you.
Bye.
Hi, we're the Gift of Life Marrow Registry, and we have amazing interns across the country. Let's meet a few.
Queens College in New York.
Appalachian State University in North Carolina.
Utah State University.
Fordham University in New York.
University of Florida.
University of Pennsylvania.
University of Chicago.
Emory University, Georgia.
University of Miami in Florida.
Hope College in Michigan.
Davidson College.
The University of Texas at Austin.
Florida A&M University.
University of Maryland, College Park.
Penn State University.
Hofstra University, New York.
Wofford College in South Carolina.
From Rowan University in New Jersey.
Ohio State.
Rider University in New Jersey.
University of California, Santa Barbara.
Louisiana State University.
The University of Central Florida.
University of Michigan.
Stony Brook University.
Georgia Southern University.
Miami-Dade College.
Brandeis University.
Iowa Wesleyan University.
Arizona State.
University of Albany, Albany, New York.
University of Wisconsin-Madison.
High Point University, North Carolina.
Florida State University.
You can get involved too. Join the registry and save lives by going to the website above. It's your turn.
Hey, what's going on with Josh?
Yeah, man, his cancer came back. He's looking for a stem cell donor.
I've been thinking about registering.
Yeah, you should. It's super simple. I did the questionnaire online, I swabbed myself at home, and now I'm in the registry.
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah, well, registering is. Just, if you get the call, make sure you're ready for the commitment afterwards.
Well, if I could save someone's life like Josh's, I think that's the least I could do.
Hoje, se eu pudesse dizer algo para o meu doador, seria: eu não te conheço, mas eu te amo muito e eu sou infinitamente grata pelo seu sim. Em meio ao caos, em meio a uma pandemia, você disse sim para mim.
Estamos hoje muito felizes fazendo esse vídeo em agradecimento a todos os doadores de medula óssea do mundo. Sem vocês, eu não estaria vivo e não poderia curtir os meus 4 filhos, minha esposa linda, minha família.
Emily, gratidão não cabe nas palavras. Serei eternamente grata. Você mora no meu coração.
Poder devolver a vida a uma pessoa é gratificante, um sentimento inexplicável. Saber que estou devolvendo a esperança de uma vida melhor, tanto para ela, quanto para a família e quanto para os amigos.
Dia 18 de setembro é o World Marrow Donor Day e eu completo 3 anos de transplante de medula óssea graças ao meu anjo doador.
Oi, meu nome é José Augusto, eu sou deficiente visual, eu sou doador de medula óssea.
Você me ensinou sobre humildade, sobre empatia, sobre amor ao próximo. Muito obrigado, doadores, por esse ato lindo de amor.
a família dessa pessoa e dar à pessoa mais uma chance de vida, de levar a alegria para a pessoa e a esperança.
Então é muito bom doarem, né, darem mais possibilidades e oportunidades para quem precisa.
Em 2016, 15 de junho, foi feito o meu transplante. Em 23 de junho, nasceu o meu quarto filho. Ele tem 5 anos e eu também tenho 5.
E sou muito grato a Deus por essa maravilha em minha vida.
E com esse doador, faz 2 anos que eu fiz o meu segundo transplante.
Isso não foi apenas uma doação, foi uma transformação, tanto para mim quanto para ela. Seja você também um doador de medula.
Parabéns a todos os doadores de medula óssea.
E eu estou aqui para agradecer a todos os doadores do mundo. Thank you, donor!
Muito obrigado a todos vocês.
Eu posso continuar a minha história. Obrigada. Obrigada, doadores. O seu gesto salva vidas.
Mais uma vez, é hora de agradecer aos doadores voluntários de medula óssea. E no segundo ano da pandemia, ainda com tantos desafios, essas histórias nos inspiram e renovam a nossa esperança e o nosso otimismo. A doação de medula óssea é, antes de tudo, uma doação de vida. Vida que renasce no paciente, seus familiares e amigos, mas também em cada um de nós. Então, aos mais de 38 milhões de doadores voluntários de medula óssea em todo o mundo, o nosso Thank You Donor.
Hello, my name is Gautam Belde. I joined the Be the Match registry back in 2009. There was a drive that was organized by Samar, and Rafiaji was also there. It was at my company in New York. About 7 years later, I got a call from someone at Be the Match saying that I came up as a match and they were asking me if I wanted to donate. I didn't hesitate. I went ahead with the donation. The procedure, the process, basically I had to give stem cells, and the process was very straightforward. It was just like it was mentioned in the literature. Everybody at Be the Match, at the hospital, at Samar, everyone was really, really helpful. They had arranged transportation to and fro from the donation site, and everything went smooth. I actually went back to work the next day. So a few weeks later, I got another call asking if I wanted to donate T cells for the same patient. Again, the procedure was similar. Went in, donated, and yeah, I mean, the experience was, was pretty straightforward. I would say it was easier than I expected it to be. So if anyone's looking to make a donation, or if anyone has any questions, just feel free to reach out to me or Rafiaji at Samar or anyone else in the Samar organization, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Please consider donating. It can save a life. Thank you and good luck.